Okay, kids, let's go for a walk. Let's go, let's go, let's go for a walk today. You start by taking purposeful steps, planting your heel firmly, rolling your toe. Hold your wrist back by your buns. Try to keep them in the same space. Plant your heels firmly. Roll your feet. Shoulders back, chest out. Remember to breathe deep. Now you start moving your wrists 5 to 6 inches forward and back. See, okay, hold your wrists still. And as you start to swing them, see the way your body comes up on your hips. You regain your posture. And now I move my arms so that my forearms are parallel to the ground. Turning my wrists in small orbs. Remember to breathe so you keep your energy up. Morning. When you get to the top of the street, touch your toes, do the torso strengthening 4 times to the right, 4 times to the left. Reach up into the air, twinkle your fingers, and touch behind your knees 2 times each. And then I do a standing push-up where I bend at the hips and I hold the rail. And I go out so my chest is sticking out. This focuses the strength in your shoulders and upper chest here. And I do this 20 times. I started just doing it 4 times. I now do it 20 times. Now we'll continue. This time start with your wrists back by your buns, by your bottom. Twirl your hands slightly in cantaloupe size circles. Force your hands towards the ground. Shoulders back, chest out, breathe deep. Now you can work on bringing your arms up so your forearms are parallel with the ground. Turning your hands in small circles, your arms like a locomotive. Face your elbows in, wrists out. So, whereas you're normally going, your hands and feet, the opposite hand is swinging forward, right? This way, the body is going with the wrist. Your wrist is going down with your foot. So you're making your gait 1 inch bigger. This is occurring right here, but your whole body is going forward. So you're going vum, vum. You've got to make sure that if your knees start to hurt, it's because you've got to bring your hips forward more. You got to distribute your weight better and pull back on your step a little bit, because your knee and hips will start to hurt. See, and then, so look, then you reverse it. Then you reverse your hand. I'm just saying now I'm going backwards, pulling up. You see the way I'm pulling up? Stepping down. Now I'm going down. This way I'm pulling up. When you come onto a flat, you're not like this or like that in the street. And so you've got a new set of movements to deal with. And it's important to keep your center of gravity over your body. So keep your wrists in close to your side. The circle's a little smaller. And you're lifting your foot more up straight. Whereas when you're going down or up a hill, you're like this, right? Because you're going up or down a hill. But when you're on flat ground, you're more just lifting up. See, okay, so you're more just lifting up, right? And you hunch all forward. So you keep these things, here you go. And it helps your shoulders go back, your heels go down, and you tighten your stomach and begin your breathing. You can move your wrists back a little bit by your bottom, and your gait will increase by a half an inch. And then as you get to the end, you can move your wrists out in front of you, moving the center of gravity out over your toes. Remember to reverse the direction of your wrists. You can feel it now back in the back of your thighs. In the back of your thighs and your knees, like when you put them in the rear. So look, you're out front, right? If you move your wrist to the rear, it changes all your body's going like this, right? You're going, ah. Whereas you put it back here, you're going, ah. You're going, ah, when the races are back. When they're in front, you're going, ah, trying to keep them up while you're walking. All this works your body out with every rotation of your wrists. When you have your wrists in back, you're going to just go, ah. And you're trying to keep yourself standing straight with the weight behind you. So when you have them in front, it works the whole front of your body. When you have behind, it works the whole rear of your body. I always start with my wrists in back. Then as we hit the center and we get up over the hump, you move up on your toes, so I move my wrist to the front. And then up in front, so your back bends. Then I reverse the directions of my wrists, always remembering to breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth. Hello, male lady. See, then you can drop your wrist to your side here, because we start going downhill and you're far from the hill, taking a bigger step. I always try and touch my toes before I cross the street, because it gives you a second to calm down and make sure there are no cars. Make sure there are no cars. Cross to the other side. This is a flat again, right? So you find her like this. And you lift your knees. This time my fingers are open. Sometimes you have your fingers closed. But this time they're open. And it starts working more of your upper body now. Remember to walk with your shoulders back, your chest forward. Remember to breathe. 2 steps in, 2 steps out. And then as it starts to raise here, getting ready for the stairs, I put my hands into fists, bring them so my forearm is parallel to the ground, and like a choo-choo train, pistons. Oh, you alternate from 2 steps of breath. That's just not normal. But with the steps coming, you go. You should pay attention to breathing, because that's what supplies your body with the fuel it needs to do walking with a purpose. You know, I didn't start doing it till the 2nd year, touching my toes. And since you walk like this, you get very stiff back in here, and I was having distress in the evenings. When I started touching my toes at every corner, the painful hips in the evenings, for the most part, went away. And so when you see the steps coming, don't look down, look up at them. Take a deep breath. Get your hands rotating, but at the rear. And lift your knees high. Step firmly on the full of your foot. If you're not stepping on the full of your foot, force it forward till your toes hit the next step. My 96-year-old grandfather, rest his soul, walked every day after he ate. Do the trunk rotational toe touches. 4 to the left, 4 to the right. Reach up into the air. Thank God, of course. Touch the back of my legs, and I was off. Now we're on a flat. Remember, with a flat, keep your wrist in at your trunk, close to your sides. If you let it go out, it makes you have to take a wider step this way, and it doesn't make fluid hip movement. So if you keep them in close to your side, like elbows in and out like this, keeps their center of gravity at your hips over your butt. If you bring them forward like this, that moves the center of gravity to over your groin. All of those cause your foot to roll excessively, keeping your toes and all the bones in your feet exercised so you don't fall over as you get older. Keep your wrists rotating. Remember to breathe deep. Shoulders back. So not only putting my hands in front, but spreading them out. By this time in your walking with a purpose, you'll be tired. You're physically tired, you're starting to sweat a tiny bit, so your body will want to curve forward. So as we hit the end grade, I'm going to move my forearms so they're parallel to my chest. Forcing my fists up in the air makes you go backwards as you're stepping and encounter the hill so you keep good posture and don't curl forward. You got to remember to breathe, step, and lift your knees and all that. Yeah, you're going uphill, so bring your wrists out in front and up high. Look up into the air, breathe deep, and step big steps. As you reverse directions, make the circles a little smaller, decreasing your step size, but lifting your knees more. Bring your forearms in close to your chest. Make the circles of your wrists a little smaller. Look up. Appreciate the last bit of a hill. You can feel it up in your breasts. Feel it in your shoulders. Feel it in your thighs. Feel it in your heels. Remember to breathe and reverse directions. Stop at the corner, touch your toes, trunk twist, twice to the left, twice to the right, up into the air, touch behind your knees. Okay, so we're gonna go down. Now you're stretched in front, seriously. You're stretched, so I wanna go like this. With your fists out over your toes, you take a really gargantuan step. See, and again, I'm pushing my wrist forward with the foot that's going forward. You walk the other way. You swing your wrist back with the opposite foot going forward. And I push them up into the air, keeping my head back, reversing directional rotation every 2 or 4 times, stepping carefully, walking with your heels a little closer in together, breathing deep. As we get to the bottom, I lower my forearms so they're parallel with the street, like the now comfortable locomotive engine. As we hit here, Face your butt to the curve so you can see traffic. Do the rotational trunk twist. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Reach up into the air. Watch out that you don't fall over backwards as you reach to touch behind your knee. And cross the street. Doing all this health to have you get killed crossing the street will not be a bad joke, right? Never mind. Okay, so here again is another long downhill. So there are several different arm positions that you've learned. There are behind you. There's forearms parallel with the ground. There's bigger circles at your waist. And there's forearms parallel with your chest. Try to do each activity for 100 or 200 feet, 1 or 2 houses, breathing deep and changing rotational direction. Remember to lift your knees. If you lift your knee, that makes you step bigger. So if you lift your knee, your foot has time to swing farther forward more. So if you just do this, how much can it swing? But if you lift it here, they go like that. So then you start. See, I find it more of a foot roll when I put the weight behind me. And my hips really jog left and right. And see, my feet are maybe stepping straight down. But my hips are doing activity that they never do if you're over 50, I'm telling you. So, constantly remembering to reverse the direction. Constantly remembering to take 2 breaths in, 2 breaths out is all mental activity because you've been laying in bed watching TV, no mental activity. Shoulders back. This works your front stomach, your groin and your stomach. It's like doing sit-ups. At least it feels like it, I'm telling you. And then reverse them. See, they make you step out more over your hips because it's front, rear. And see, I'm doing it like this, right? This is not like this. This is not this. It's this. So it's diagonally stretching my body. As you do this, your butt's doing this. So you're working all your connecting muscles. Remember to have your shoulders back and your chest out. Arms rotating in small elliptical pattern. Reverse directions, lifting your hands up under your armpits and turning your entire shoulder and chest. You'll come out over your toes a little bit more. Okay, so when you start going downhill and you walk with your shoulders, your chest out and your shoulders back, and you're now going like this, right? Moving your entire shoulder, arm and forearm and wrist in rotations. Keeping your wrists up under your armpits, shoulders back, chest out. Remember to raise your knees and roll your feet. Turning your wrists in small basketball-sized circles. Now start dropping your forearms down so they're parallel with the street. You can try pushing the wrists out front and shoulders back, or you can try your wrists in at your body if you're worn out. Turn your palms towards the ground. Turn your palms away from the ground. Shoulders back, chest out. Walking down this hill, While twirling my fists in the air, I turn my trunk to the right for 2 steps, then the left for 2 steps. To the right for 2 steps, to the left for 2 steps. This works out your stomach and your core in front. Touch your toes. 2 rotations. 2 rotations back. Reach into the air and touch behind your legs. And we're off. Remember to breathe. 2 steps in, 2 steps out. Forearms parallel to the ground, shoulders back, roll your feet, heels forward. We're going downhill. To a flat, we're going to slightly start going uphill. When you do that, I'm going to bring my forearms and wrists up towards my armpit. This gives your shoulders, neck, and entire upper body a workout as you walk, every step. 40 days, you're a different person. Tighten your stomach. Rotate your wrists. Arms parallel to the ground. Palms open. Rotating in small cantaloupes. Rotate your wrists. Breathe deep. Change direction. Shoulders back. Chest out. Lift your knees. Roll your feet. Chest out. Shoulders back. 4 times to the right. Doing this at every corner gives you so much more benefit than just trotting your butt around the block. Remember to keep your shoulders back. Breathe deep, change rotational directions, and pick up your knees. We're almost home. Thank you for a beautiful walk. Good luck, and God bless you. Get out every morning, walkingwithapurpose.com.